Alright, so let's go ahead and dice up 6 medium mushroom caps, roughly about 2 cups. And we want to dice them as small as possible. So what I'm doing first is I'm slicing them, and then I'm going to dice them, and then I'm going to extra chop them. This is going to really help them break down when we're making our classic gravy mix. But let's go ahead and speed this process up. So right now I'm using a carving knife, so cut the mushrooms into small pieces. I like to use a fresh mushroom. It just tastes a lot better to me. And now into even smaller pieces. Chop, 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 chop. Alright, so now in a medium saucepan, put your stovetop to medium high. And we're going to go ahead and add in our vegan butter. Now it's going to be 2 tablespoons of vegan butter, but you can replace that with olive oil. Let the butter melt down to a liquid. Now it's very important that it melts down to a liquid because we want the mushrooms to absorb all the liquid. Just to help it along, we're going to go ahead and mix it a little bit. Alright, now we're going to bring it to a liquid so that the mushrooms can soak it all up. Now, let's go ahead and add our 2 cups of chopped mushrooms. And if you are using olive oil, you don't have to bring it, obviously, you don't have to bring it down to a liquid. Just let it get hot a little bit and then you can add in your mushrooms. Now what we want to do, we want to mix it all together. So for about 5 to 8 minutes, we're going to mix it. And what that's doing, it's basically going to break down the mushrooms. And we'll slowly add in our other ingredients. But right now we want to just kind of drench our mushrooms in the vegan butter. Alright, so let's saute the mushrooms and let the juices slowly remove from them. Let me show you what it looks like. You can see it sizzling up right there. Alright, so keep on stirring to prevent the mushrooms from sticking to the pan. So this is just one of those processes you just gotta keep on stirring. You can switch hands if your hands get a little tired there, because we're gonna stir for about 5 to 8 minutes. But I promise you, in the end, the results are amazing. It's a nice vegan classic mushroom gravy. But you see it sizzling right there? So what it's doing, it's removing all the juices from the mushrooms. Yeah, it's extracting them. It's creating its own mushroom sauce. And this is what's really going to help create the gravy. But make sure you keep stirring. I'm just going to give you a quick close-up right here. Alright, now turn the heat down to low after 3 minutes. So after 3 minutes, we want to turn the heat down to low. And just keep on stirring. And now what we're going to do is that we're going to add 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, or you can use rice flour, but we want to do it 1 tablespoon at a time. So put that 1 tablespoon in, mix it really well, and then we're going to add in the other tablespoon. Just remember to keep stirring. And then right now we're going to add 1.5 cups of veggie broth. You can do a homemade or a store-bought. Just make sure it is veggie. And we'll get to stirring again. Stir, 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 and stir some more. And this is where the magic happens. It's going to turn from a liquid to a nice creamy gravy. So you're going to stir for another 5 minutes. You'll start to see the texture thicken. But for the sake of the video, I'm going to go ahead and fast forward this. And I always tell people to know your stove, because your stove might get hot a lot faster than mine. So I'm stirring this for 5 minutes, but just keep in mind the texture is what you're looking for. All right, a few more minutes left and it's getting thicker. You can see it right there. It's getting nice and creamy. And if yours happens to get thicker faster, then you're almost there. All right, so right now we want to go ahead and just, now that it's all thick, we want to turn the heat to off. And we have 1 more minute. Just keep on stirring because the pan still is very hot. So now the heat is off after 4 minutes of adding in the broth. And it is nice and thick. And we are about done. All right, we made it. We're all gravied, and now let's pour. I want to show you what it looks like with our harissa garlic roasted mashed potatoes that we made earlier. So this is the texture you're looking for. You see how thick that is? Ah, excellent. So let me show you what it looks like with a close-up. So I really wanted to show you it assembled because I wanted you to see the texture. It is classic gravy, vegan style. It's really beautiful and it tastes amazing. So I hope you enjoyed this classic mushroom gravy by the Vegan Gents. Have a great day.